Are you going to buy a property jointly? A joint property is any property held in the name of two or more persons like husband and wife, or business partners, friends, or family members. So, what should you check before buying a property jointly?
If you're taking a loan, you make sure that your loan documents are in order and the loan has been approved. In the event that you're adding a co-owner to a property that you already own, what you can do is you can either show a sale through a sale deed for that portion that you're transferring to the new co-owner, or you could execute a gift deed. Now, what you have to pay in this would be you have to take care of the stamp duty and the registration charges. So the process is slightly longer, but that's more because of the amount of documentation. But other than that, there is nothing out of the ordinary or nothing that should scare anybody from entering into such an agreement. Now, who can be a joint owner? As a matter of fact, it could be anybody. There is no bar on it. It could be your wife, it could be your parents, it could be your children, it could be close relatives, distant relatives. Maybe you want to buy a property with your friend. Maybe you want to buy it with your business partner. So there is no bar at all. However, at the same time, I think what is required is that everybody is on the same plane. There's this mindset that's similar between the people who are buying the property and the aim for buying the same.
Whether it is your first home or as an investment property, buying a house jointly does have its spark if done with care. Co-ownership is beneficial in buying you a house that you may not have otherwise been able to afford. However, it is important to know financial and legal consequences before buying a property with someone.
There are certain things that have to be checked while buying a property. You have to always make sure that you do your due diligence. You have to make sure that the title is clear, there is no pending loan on the property, there is no pending litigation on that property. Now, this is something that you would do regardless of whether you're buying a property with a joint owner or by yourself. The one thing that has to be done is, if you're buying it with a joint owner, again, I'm repeating myself, you should make sure that you're on the same page. Another thing, in the event that you're buying the property by taking out a loan, something that should be considered is the credit rating of both the people or the multiple people, all the owners who are proposing to enter into this transaction, because in the event that the credit rating is lower for one person, it could create hindrances, it could make the process go on slightly longer. All the owners will have to agree to sell it. Though there may arise a situation where a few of the owners or one of the owners might refuse to sell it. If that owner has already gone to court and gotten an injunction, then it may be an issue. In the absence of that, the co-owners willing to sell the property can only sell their share of the property. And in certain situations, it will be an undivided share. So in the long run, it might become difficult to find a buyer for a property where the owners aren't on the same page and they don't want to sell it. But you still can sell your share under certain circumstances.
You can own a property either as tenant in common or as a joint tenant with the right of survivorship. In tenancy in common, each tenant owns his separate and distinct share in the same property. When a tenant in common dies, his share in the property goes to his beneficiary.
Two types of joint ownership that you can enter into. One is joint tenancy and the other is tenants in common. In joint tenancy, the interest of, for example, if one of the people passes away, the interest transfers over to the second or the third owner or whoever is left. In tenancy in common, that is not the case. It will pass on to the legal heirs. So those are the two. So joint tenancy makes sense if you're buying something with your legal heirs, with your family members. But if you're buying a property with a friend or with a business partner, then it makes more sense to have it to be for it to be tenants in common.
In a joint tenancy, each tenant has the right of survivorship, meaning that if one owner dies, that owner's interest in the property will pass to the surviving owner or the owners. The interest in the property of the deceased owner simply fades and cannot be inherited by his or her beneficiaries. Tenants in common do not have the right of survivorship, while the joint tenant has a single unified interest in the entire property. If the property is held jointly, you can receive additional tax benefit for the same cost. However, it is important to note that the property should also be funded by each co-owner.
Benefits and other pros and cons, there are quite a few. If I may give this with an example, you do get a tax benefit on the interest paid on you on a home loan. Now, for example, let's assume two people have taken a home loan jointly for the residential property. They are entitled to a saving of up till 2 lakh rupees. Now, let's assume that the loan was for 50 lakh rupees at a rate of interest of about 10%. That comes to 5 lakh rupees in interest. If there's a single owner, you're entitled only to a saving of 2 lakh rupees and 3 lakhs gets wasted. I mean, in a sense, you're spending that. If there are two owners, you get 2 lakh rupees each. So as a matter of fact, you ended up saving another 2 lakh rupees. Similarly, in the event of any loss faced on a property, the cap again is 2 lakh rupees. If there are two owners or more, it's 2 lakh rupees each. Capital gains, similar story. If you sell a property, you have to buy another residential property with that to save capital gains. If there are two owners, that again gets divided as well. So you do get a certain entitlement in a sense on that as well. There are other benefits which are not tax benefits per se, but your spending power increases. You could maybe get a larger loan for a bigger property or a more expensive property if there are multiple people applying for it. So because of the higher paying capacity. In terms of succession, also it would be slightly easier if it's owned by people who are in the same, for example, husband and wife. It would be easy in case one passes away. Another thing to consider is stamp duty. The stamp duty, let's take Delhi for example, for joint ownership is about 1% less than it is for a man if he's buying a property. Though there is a caveat to this, if it's a woman buying a property, it's even lower than this.
Buying a property jointly has its own pros and cons. In case owners are not on the same page, then it becomes difficult to sell off the property. But tax benefit and increased home loan eligibility attract many to buy a property jointly. It is your decision based on your assessment, but do employ a legal expert if you have any confusion in mind. Thank you so much for watching this show. Don't forget to subscribe to MBTV and follow me on Twitter and Facebook. For any comment and suggestions, do write to me in the comment section below. This is Ravi Kumar Divakar with my cameraman Nitin Rajput. Don't forget to subscribe to MBTV on YouTube and press the bell icon to get the latest videos.